And 8 days to go, Gloria, not a whole lot of time. I want to get back to what Dana was reporting just a little while ago, some of the finger pointing that seems to be going on inside the McCain camp. Some people say, you know what, it's business as usual for a supposedly losing side, but what really is going on?
Well, I think you can see, as Dana's been reporting, the clear tensions in the McCain campaign over the strategy over how to handle her. I mean, you can look at one side who says, look, she wasn't ready for prime time. We had to hold her back from those of us in the media before she could really face us. And there are others who say, look, you did her a disservice by not letting her get out there because you didn't let Sarah Palin be Sarah Palin. I think the truth, when we look back on this, may be somewhere in the middle, but she's clearly trying to establish her own bona fides in case they lose this election. She wants to have a political career.
John, you've been doing some reporting. What are you hearing? What's going on inside the McCain campaign right now?
Well, there are some people, Wolf, right at the top of the campaign who do believe that she is starting to put her own self-interest ahead of the campaign's interest. And there you saw those tensions spill forward. Remarkably tough language used back and forth by both sides over the weekend. What they are saying today is, why don't you all stop talking about this? And if they can stay on the economic message and if they can stop fighting amongst themselves, that would be the best use of our time from tomorrow on in the final week of this campaign. But we did not start this. These are very senior McCain aides talking about Governor Palin and people very close to Governor Palin firing back at the senior McCain aides. There is an internal tension, and as Dana reported, it happens. It happened in the Dukakis-Benson campaign. It happened in the Kerry Edwards campaign. It happens a lot, but for it to happen 1 week out when this campaign has so little room for error is quite remarkable.
Yesterday, Candy, Elizabeth Hasselbeck of The View, a conservative, she introduced Sarah Palin onto the campaign trail. She sort of revived the issue that a lot of the McCain people would like to see go away, the $150,000 wardrobe that the RNC purchased for her. And then Sarah Palin responded. I'm going to play these little clips.
With everything going on in the world, seems a bit odd. But let me tell you, this is deliberately sexist.
Those clothes, they are not my property, just like the lighting and the staging and everything else that the RNC purchased. I'm not taking them with me. I'm back to wearing my own clothes from my favorite consignment shop in Anchorage, Alaska.
All right, Candy, how do you assess what's going on?
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting that they finally sort of have a coherent answer to this. It seems to me that the first response we had from the McCain campaign was, I can't believe we're talking about this, the first part of what she said. But then, you know, she went on to say, listen, here is what happened. I mean, I think they needed an explanation so that they could move on. And as it is, you know, having that come up yesterday, it just keeps the story going. And one of the first rules of politics is if there's a negative story out there, get it out, provide the explanation, and stop talking about it. And I think part of the problem here, at least strategically, is they let this story go on.
You know, that's a serious problem for this campaign, for the McCain campaign. Gloria, let's get to the issue of age and race in this election, only 8 days away. In our recent CNN Opinion Research Corporation poll, we asked, is the race of a candidate a factor in your vote for president? 29% said yes, 70% said no. We also asked, is the age of the candidates a factor in your vote for president? 47% said yes, 52% said no, which seemed to suggest, correct me if I'm wrong, that maybe McCain has a bigger problem since he's older than Obama does.
Well, you know, voters have always worried about age, Wolf. They worried about Ronald Reagan's age when he was running. And I believe, getting back to Sarah Palin, that voters are probably now more worried about McCain's age than they may have been before he chose Sarah Palin as his running mate. Because what our polls also show is that a majority of voters don't believe she's qualified to step into the job of president.
John, you're in California right now where they had that so-called Bradley effect way back in the 80s. The black mayor of Los Angeles running for governor. Polls showed it would be close. He might even win. He didn't win, so they said white people, some of them at least, said they were going to vote for him, but then didn't. What do you think about this whole issue?
That's the very reason I'm here, Wolf. We're going to do a piece for later in the week explaining the Bradley effect, because many of the people involved in that race simply don't think it was true. They say the polls tightened at the end, but that is the label now used. Do white people lie to pollsters? Do they say they're going to vote for a black candidate and then they change their mind? There is no question that race will be an issue in some places. Remember the Congressman Jack Murtha from Pennsylvania saying he believes people in his district are racist and might not vote for Barack Obama. We know in a number of states we will be watching, places where Senator Clinton did very well. Will white, rural, blue-collar Americans support Barack Obama? But remember, there's a very important flip side to the race debate, and that is we expect dramatically increased African-American turnout, and that could not only make a big difference in the presidential race, Wolf, it could have a coattail effect on many congressional races.
And we expect also, Candy, a huge turnout, relatively speaking, among young people, and that could be a big bonanza for Obama as well.
Absolutely, and that's what they've been counting on, of course, is all of these new people, both young and African-American, that they have brought into this process over a very long primary campaign. And that has really helped this campaign, the Obama campaign. Frequently, Barack Obama on the campaign trail will say, well, Hillary Clinton made me a better candidate. Well, she also gave him a better organization, because they have been in basically every state trying to turn out that vote. So these are very important numbers that they've registered, but of course the real thing is, can they get them out? And they are very confident here in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, that they do in fact have a superior get out the vote, and that's where they think their real ace in the hole is.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Now you know why this is the best political team on television. With 8 days to go, is there anything left for the candidates to say that might change voters' minds? Jack, in your email, that's coming up. And forget about Joe the plumber. Jeannie Moe says Joe the electrician may be needed out there on the campaign trail. Stay with us.